Hi, my name is Thais Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to spot a securely attached person on the first date. Now, there's a huge thunderstorm outside, so you may hear crazy thunder. And if that's distracting, I apologize, but hopefully you won't hear too much of it. I was like waiting to record this video, and then I was like, I have to just go for it. So if you're confused about dating in any way, this is meant not to say that you should only date securely attached people, but this video is meant to be here for you to have a guide as to like what somebody's attachment style may be early on, so you can evaluate like the different pain points and challenges you may run into, and obviously then just be proactive about those things and use specific tools to help overcome those things. Because a lot of our different attachment style interactions, though they may feel really difficult at times and like we can't overcome them and we may feel helpless, really once we have appropriate tools to learn how to communicate, to learn how to reprogram, to learn how to speak differently. I don't know if you can hear the thunder, but it's so loud. Then it's from that position that we can actually, despite having attachment style differences, literally create harmonious relationships that last and that work by putting in the work. So, for anybody who's feeling like, oh my gosh, my attachment style, it's too difficult, or I'm with somebody who their attachment style is too difficult, as long as both people are willing to do the work and show up, trust me, like literally, I've seen so many amazing changes over the years. It's possible. But one of the requirements is that both people will try and be consistent. So with all of that being said, how we can spot a securely attached person on the first date are a few key things. So number one, securely attached individuals will tend to have this nice balance between being able to share and be open, but also being able to not feel the need to overcompensate or people please. So you will hear generally on the first date, securely attached people talk about their feelings, talk about their needs, not in a tremendous amount of detail where they're like telling you their entire life story. And it's like everything from, their biggest fears and their biggest pain points and difficulties in life forward. But you will hear like a little bit about the person. They're there to take dating usually a lot of the time quite seriously. And not necessarily because they're thinking that like the first date, I have to, from the very first date, meet the love of my life. It's not in a pressure filled way. It's like they have respect for the process of dating. They have respect for, I'm here with the intention to get to know somebody to see if it works. And I understand that that naturally requires me to show up, to show who I am, to share myself as well, and to see if there's a good fit. And so you'll sort of feel this undertone of them evaluating you and also giving you information so you can evaluate them. And they do tend to have this like healthy subconscious relationship with the idea of like dating is about an exchange of us getting to know each other, vetting each other, seeing if it's going to work, and taking that process seriously and intentionally for the most part. So they'll tend to be quite open from that perspective. If they don't want something serious or they're not thinking that that's on the table long term, they will also be quick to really communicate about that quite early, I find. So they'll tend to have a lot of their own individual boundaries and opinions. They'll tend to express them quite well as well. And they are comfortable with you having a difference of opinion. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not compatible. They will almost find something positive about that. Like, hey, we have our differences. We can add value to each other's lives through different ways of thinking and feeling about things. And they won't see that as a threat or something to shut down about a lot of the time. And they will work to understand those differences, usually from a place of curiosity. Securely attached individuals are also quite attuned to other people, and they are like tapped in. They do have a tendency to be quite good at being present, but they will be slower paced at how deeply attuned they become. They will not, necessarily ask tremendous amounts of probing questions right at the beginning. They'll ask a little bit of probing questions from time to time, sort of sporadically and periodically. Securely attached people as well won't necessarily try to rush into things. There won't feel like there's this inherent sense of pressure or rushing. There will feel like it's okay to take things at whatever pace sort of works, depending on more information that we take in as we go. So they tend to share without oversharing as well. And by the way, if you want to do like a much deeper dive into the securely attached person, you can check out how the securely attached person shows up in each of the 6 stages of a relationship. It's our advanced securely attached course. And the intention of the course is literally to give you a roadmap to see all these different characteristics in the dating stage, in the honeymoon stage, in the power struggle stage, what they do right, what works for them, what qualities and characteristics they build into relationships. And then it gives you tools to subconsciously reprogram where you don't line up with those things, so that you can create transformation and you yourself can become more securely attached. It will also give you insight if you want to just see a much deeper dive into like how securely attached people act and show up, and where you may have differences with a securely attached person if you are more insecurely attached. And you can check that out for free for 7 days by clicking the link in the description box below, and then searching up Advanced Securely Attached course when you enter into the school and see all the different courses we have there. And by the way, in the school, we literally have 45 different courses. We have daily social events, study groups. I do 4 live webinars per week with our students. Like there's so much cool stuff going on in terms of like community and getting to know other like-minded people who are working on their relationships and their life and their personal growth and value emotional connection. And anyways, all that exciting stuff. So 2 other things I want to add here is that securely attached individuals do tend to be quite good at giving compliments and also receiving compliments. It doesn't feel like too vulnerable to them. They won't overdo it, but it will be something that they feel comfortable doing. And they also tend to be quite comfortable sharing validation about where they stand if the date goes well. So they'll say things like, oh, I had a great time. It's so funny because sometimes you'll see like the fearful avoidance, if they really have a great time, they won't want to say it and be too vulnerable. Dismissive avoidance may be in that same sort of boat. Anxious preoccupied are like, oh, what if I say too much and then, it pushes someone away, so they won't say that much. Or in other cases, they won't fear it and they'll sort of hit the polar end of the spectrum. They'll say so much right away and give so many compliments. Securely attached people tend to be quite direct, that they feel comfortable sharing what they're feeling. Like, hey, I had a really great time. I'd like to see you again. Isn't something that feels scary for the securely attached person, because they don't have beliefs that they link to it. They're not giving that meaning like, oh, I'll be a burden. I'll push someone away. I'll come on too strong. I'll be weak. They don't have all this meaning they give to it. So they're comfortable stating a lot more of those opinions. So these are some great ways to spot a securely attached person on the first date. And they will tend to follow up somewhat quickly after as well, like within a day, 2 days, to get back and plan ahead if they feel like it's a good fit. So hopefully this makes a lot of sense. Let me know any other questions you have in the comments below about dating in general. I'd love to make more videos about this stuff for you guys, so keep me posted. And thank you for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.